Tonight, on our 2024 edition of Size Eyes on the Skies.
Well, we had another absolutely gorgeous day of weather across the state of Iowa. That looks to continue as we go in through the rest of this week. We do have a little bit of rain and some relatively cooler temperatures to look forward to towards the end of the week. But for right now, we're looking at some really nice temperatures across the state, warmer than where we really should be at this time of year in the middle of the day, much less middle of the evening. But I'll have a look coming up on your full Iowa forecast on how much longer we can expect this warm weather to stick around.
Plus, Nicole has her national forecast. And that and more as this Tuesday, February 20th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Broadcasting live from Iowa State University, the Iowa State Meteorology Department brings you the latest weather from across the country and out your front door. This is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Good evening and welcome to our Size Eyes Revival Show. I'm your host, Stefan Sundin. We begin with tonight's weather story. In southeastern Peru, a vast mudslide swept an Andean mountainside onto two remote villages, burying up to 300 people. Inhabitants had been evacuated after weekend flooding, but their refuge above the village put them in the path of the mudslide. And now to discuss more with what's happening around the country, here's Nicole with your national forecast.
Right now we're looking at a moderate chance for excessive rainfall in California, mainly in the southwest portion of the state. As for the rest of the country, a cold front will be moving across the eastern part of the U.S., although the rest of the U.S. isn't really going to be affected by any of this weather and will be quiet conditions throughout the week. I'll have more coming up later.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire? Only you can prevent wildfires.
Taking a look at current temperatures right now in the U.S., we're still sitting well above average in Iowa in those 50 degrees, even after the sun has set already this evening. But we are going to focus this beginning of this forecast into the southwestern part of California. As I mentioned earlier, we are seeing quite a bit of heavy rainfall hitting that portion of the state right now. Here we can see the flood warnings, flood washes are affecting a large portion of the state, mainly on the western portion of California. Much of the rain is falling into the southwestern portion of the state along in Los Angeles and the San Diego areas. This is currently, and then throughout the night we'll see that precipitation eventually dissipate and move as the system moves across the U.S. and brings some snowfall amounts into Utah and Nevada. After that, we could see a few scattered showers throughout the central portions of the U.S., although they won't bring large amounts of rainfall until we see this very strong cold front develop and affecting the eastern portions of the U.S. as it moves through Indiana and Ohio, eventually going off to the east of the United States onto the coast. Our rainfall amounts with these systems will stay relatively low, maybe into the moderate portions, as again we're looking at that southwestern portion of California, seeing those light, again, to fairly moderate amounts of rainfall. Snow moving up through Nevada and Utah. Again, maybe a few sprinkles here in Iowa and in the central portions of the U.S., although the main amounts of the precipitation is going to stick around in Indiana and Ohio, moving to the eastern portion of the country. We're going to focus our forecast today, though, on Lexington, Kentucky, as the cold front will be moving through there. Tomorrow, we expect a high of 62 with a low of 49, after which on Thursday, that cold front will eventually move through, bringing that rain chance, making the low a little bit colder than we have been seeing at 57, low going into 41 for that night. Again, that cold front is still going to be affecting those temperatures as we move into the weekend. High of only 52 on Saturday, hitting the lows in the upper to mid 20s. And then as the weekend moves through, we'll again begin to see those normal expected temperatures back into the 60s, even seeing 65 as we get into Tuesday with a slight rain chance.
Now, let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. What was the highest recorded wind speed during the 2020 Central Iowa derecho? Was it A, 23 miles per hour, B, 100 miles per hour, C, 79 miles per hour, or D, 126 miles per hour? We'll have your answer coming right up, but now let's have a look at the week ahead with AJ.
And well, right now, looking out across US 30 at Duff Avenue in Ames, it's really just a beautiful night out there. Not much to complain about for driving or weather, really. Way above average where we should be temperature-wise, and we've got those mild temperatures continuing throughout the week. Light rain towards the end of the week, and then slightly cooler day in the week as well. We'll have a look at what we can expect coming up with your full Iowa forecast. Well, right now, looking out across Central Campus here in Ames, 49 degrees, nice dew point, not much lower than our actual temperature, 45. So it's a little bit humid out there, but really, with the temperatures being what it is, you're not going to feel that muggy. It's going to be a beautiful night if you want to go out, walk around, enjoy the air out there, because we've had a lot of really, really nice days, and we're going to have a lot of really nice days to continue for the rest of this week. Right now, temperatures across the entirety of the state, way above average where we should be for this time of year. We should be down below freezing by this point in the evening on a typical February night. Nowhere, anywhere are we even getting close to freezing. Dubuque might be kind of close around 38. That's going to be your cold spot in the state. Elsewhere, though, 40s and 50s. You really can't complain about that in February in Iowa. Dew points, not too terrible. Kind of a little bit dry, but you're going to get that at this time of year with temperatures only being in the 30s and 40s, a couple 50s across the state. And then winds, you know, a lot of times in the Midwest, you like to say that it'd be a beautiful night if it weren't for the wind. Well, we don't have to worry about the wind tonight either. So it really is a beautiful night out there. Gentle wind, gentle breeze out of the south. So go outside and enjoy it. If you like taking nighttime walks, or you got to go out and walk the dog, take it for an extra nice long walk. I know Fido will enjoy that. Satellite and radar, no clouds, no rain, nothing really to worry about or to speak of on radar. But then looking out across for the rest of the night tonight, we are going to have a couple clouds that move through as you walk out the door tomorrow morning. You'll expect some partly cloudy skies, few areas where it might be a little on the cloudier side. And then as we go through the day towards the lunch hour, you can expect some clouds increasing in coverage a little bit. Northern parts of the state might see a sprinkle here or there. Don't expect it to be a washout. You might just be enough to get your windshield wet as you're going out for lunch. And then those showers might stick across the northern area of the state into southern Minnesota as we go through the evening. Overnight, those clouds and those showers will persist through the area, and as we go through the late hours of overnight, tomorrow night, and into early Thursday morning, we are going to look to see that rain increase in coverage a little bit across eastern Iowa, and then it'll continue to increase in coverage and then slide off to the south as we go through the morning on Thursday, and then through the day Thursday, it will continue to progress to the south and east out of our way and leave us with nice sunny skies across most of the area for our afternoon on Thursday. As far as rainfall amounts for what we can expect from this system coming through, amounts are going to be pretty light across the area. Really not too much to worry about. For those of you who are hoping to put a dent in the drought, this one's not going to do it, unfortunately. So pretty light rainfall amounts across the board. For tonight, mostly clear, 34 degrees. Not much colder than what we should be at for our high temperature for this time of year. We're not even going to get close to freezing, which is really unusual for Iowa at this time of year. Some cloudy, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies for tonight, and then for tomorrow, increasing clouds throughout the day. We're going to get close to 60 again. We did hit 60 today, and we're going to be really close to it tomorrow. If it weren't for the increasing clouds, I would expect that we would be well up into the 60s, but that cloud cover is going to keep us a little bit cooler. So we'll be right around 59 for the high with winds out of the east-northeast. Taking a look at the week ahead here in Ames, we're going to expect some really, really nice weather for Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures are going to drop a little bit on Friday, but we'll still be way above average for this time of year as that rain moves through. And then temperatures will rebound quickly and nicely as we head into early next week, and we'll take a look at potentially some record warmth.
Thank you, AJ, for that forecast. Now let's review tonight's trivia question. The trivia question was, what was the highest recorded wind speed during the 2020 Central Iowa derecho? Is it A, 23 miles per hour, B, 100 miles per hour, C, 79 miles per hour, or D, 126 miles per hour? You guys have any guesses?
You know, I would tend to err on the high side. Part of that is because I got to witness that firsthand. It was my first really big introduction to Iowa weather after coming up here from Georgia, so I'm going to go 126.
I think that might have been the day that me and AJ actually met for the first time too, so it was a great way for us meteorology majors to become acquainted, looking at all the storm damage, sadly. I think I'm going to cross out the 23 miles an hour, so I might stick at that 100 miles per hour, just to get a little different answer than AJ.
Well, me personally, I would have guessed 70 miles per hour being from Minnesota, but seeing as that is not an option, the correct answer is 126 miles per hour.
Awesome.
Good job, AJ.
That concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to follow us up on Twitter, and you can find all of our shows on YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful night.